Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod here to talk about Season 1, Episode 8 of Fox's The Snake, titled Secret Snake. Last time on The Snake, Mayor John came to power, and ultimately star of the season Catherine was sent slithering back to her career in tech with about 50 unused strategy tips on her phone. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on this season's recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. I'm also recapping Big Brother and the Challenge 41 right now. You can check out The Snake Tuesday nights on Fox and next day on Hulu. But let's dive into it. The day after Catherine's elimination, Jordan is still pissed at John, who was the reason that Jordan was in the bottom. Brett is lifting an entire bed. McLean is still in love with Jack, telling Amanda that she's feeling like he checks off all of her boxes, and she's gonna meet his family. What could possibly go wrong? Amanda's ready to betray anybody, and Brett clocks that Amanda is a hard game player. Elsewhere, Jack is clocking Frank. He knows that Frank is secretly close with everyone and is a threat in the game. They get a note from Jim, who was probably busy on the phone with his agent, livid about this gig. They're told to change clothes because they're getting chummy in the challenge, and learn that Catherine gave an advantage in the challenge to her girly pop Jordan. So they change into gray t-shirts that Alyssa has customized by simply lifting it up. There's a huge pit full of dead fish. A lot of fish had to die for this failing Fox show. Was it worth it? There are 100 gold snake medallions hidden in the swamp. Every medallion will be exchanged for what Jim calls an egg. They'll then put their eggs into a bingo tumbler, and whoever's randomly pulled will be the snake. Why couldn't they just be searching for the balls in the pit? Jordan's advantage is she starts off with 2 medallions. So they get started. This was really gross. Frank says it smells like hot garbage on a sunny day. Mayor John puts a token in Frank's box, which Brett says is cheating. Is it cheating? They're not punished for it. Frank actually ends up with the most coins. They should have told them in the beginning they could help each other, even though it doesn't really matter since it's not the top points winning. You really should be trying to get as many points as you can for yourself. So Jim pulls a ball out. He doesn't show it to us or them and tells them this is a secret snake. The players then all bathe with hand soap, which is kind of edited in a sexy way. Players strategize without knowing who the snake is. Amanda wants to target Jack. John is trying to mend fences with Jordan, attempting to start an alliance with her and ruining her ice cream cone with boring conversation. Jordan tells us she's gonna backstab John at first opportunity. Frank, Alyssa, and Mayor John's alliance is still going strong. They hope one of them is the snake. Jim shows up at the house, deciding to be a comedian. He goes into the confessional and says, "I'm confessing I have hemorrhoids." Truly so humorous. Jim invites Jack to the confessional to reveal not his hemorrhoids, but that he's the secret snake, because that's absolutely the same ball from before, right? It's not picking the person who has the most confessionals, giving him a chance to talk about how he's gonna use the money to help his charity, and have a little moment with old Jimmy Hemorrhoid. So Secret Snake Jack slithers around the house gathering information. John tells Jack that there were 3 people who told John to eliminate Jack last week. We're shown that they were Frank, Catherine, and Jordan, but Jack assumes that he's talking about Amanda. John lets Jack believe this, and John thinks he's a big old genius for Jack misunderstanding what he was saying. Jack implies to us that he and McLean are gonna get freaky in the snake lair, and Jim comes in, revealing that Jack is the snake to the group. Why did they not make this secrecy last through the elimination? This was such a weird time to tell them. I truly believe the only point of making this a secret for a few hours was to avoid showing the players the ball at the challenge, because I do feel like this was rigged. So they get a whole nother day to strategize ahead of the elimination. Jack made it seem like they were gonna get freaky, but McLean and Jack talk and fall asleep. Of course, this is Fox where they blur booty cheeks. If you want something sexy, you're gonna have to rewind to the Dawn soap bath. Jack and Mayor John scheme against Amanda, but Detective Derek, who's barely been in this episode, still wants to work with Amanda and fears for himself. Jack rounds up with McLean and tells her that John proposed the final 3 alliance with them and the scheme to target Amanda. He's also considering targeting Frankie and Alyssa because he thinks they're coming for him too. So they head to the saving ceremony. Jack, of course, picks McLean. Jim calls McLean out for only being on the show for a showmance, asking if she came to play or find love, to which she says both. I'm gonna take a little issue with this. Firstly, Jim, mind your own business. You're the host, and you're not even that famous. You should be a contestant. Why is McLean getting all the blame for the showmance? McLean picks Brett, who picks Derek. Derek saves his longtime ally, Amanda. Amanda then calls out John for treating the other players as constituents and not humans in the previous round, and chooses Jordan, but John responds to this saying he's an honest politician and exposes that he enlisted Amanda last week to help him be deceptive when he was the snake. Amanda defends herself, and I think she did a good job, but Jack in confessional doesn't think Amanda did a good job. Then again, Jack just doesn't like Amanda. Jordan gets the final pick, choosing to save Alyssa and leaving John and Frankie in the bottom 2. They plead their cases. John says that Jack should eliminate a strong player in Frankie, and Frank gives more of an emotional plea to stay in the game with his new friends. Jack tells them that he learned from John to listen to the people, and the people want John gone. So he eliminates John from the game, and Amanda proclaims to us she's about to be a big old snake and win that money. So we have to say goodbye to Mayor John, who joined a game already in progress as the final member of the cast. After Christine, I didn't have high hopes for him, but he ended up being one of the more cutthroat players out there. He probably should have been cast in the beginning. Did they just not have enough beds? Did the Airbnb only allow a certain number of guests? I was surprised that they kept him in the round over Christine, since they were both on the outs and he was a bigger player. So in a way, I feel like he was in longer than I expected, but he wasn't there for long. He was a good competitor. He even won Snake and eliminated Catherine from the game, the move of the season. But personality wise, I wasn't the biggest fan and think I've seen about enough of him. I don't know what his politics are, but I hope he believes in education because after seeing the way they put this show together, I think we need to open the schools. So that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Jack as the first two-time Snake and Mayor John's elimination. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next Tuesday with more Snake. Until then, you know where to find me. Bye.